What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about Legion 3v3 and what I think about it so far. I wanted to wait and make this video a few weeks into the expansion rather than make it right away because people are still, the first few weeks of the expansion are silly. No one knows what anything does. Fellord is a perfect example of this. A lot of people didn't know what Fellord was, including high-rated players. So we were just getting crazy Fellord kills like for the first 2 weeks before people figured out what it was. And now people know what it is. It's still very, very good. It's still an amazing ability, even though people know that it hits hard. People still need to make that calculated decision whether to continue to tunnel into that guy or get off him. So I want to wait and just let the dust settle a little bit before I gave my impressions. For the most part, I think this expansion is very good. I think Legion is the best expansion since Wrath of the Lich King. There are some problems with it, but compared to other expansions, they've done a pretty good job with PvP in particular. They didn't let Demon Hunters be gods for months and months and months. If you compare this to previous expansions, there's no comparing, dude. DKs were just gods at the start of Wrath for a while, a pretty long amount of time. And they were Death Knights were the best ranged class in the game. Anyone that was around during that era knows what I'm talking about. They would just spam Chains of Ice for like insane damage, and they didn't need to melee people. It's crazy. And then Cataclysm had some crazy shit. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Mop was absurd. Okay, so like the game is what, 8 years old in the time of Mists of Pandaria, and they just let warriors literally go around in like warriors and Mop were not as disgustingly overpowered as DKs were, but it was more embarrassing. Because the game is pretty old at this point, right? It's like 8 years old, and it's not a new class. Warriors are not a new class, but they let warriors run around and literally one-shot people for like 6 months. They had, 2 pummels? One that they could do while blades, an AoE pummel, 2 spell reflex, defensive stance with no penalty whatsoever. It like barely made you generate less rage. Literal one-shots with heroic strike, insane damage outside of that. Intervene, like they had so much. That was the most grossly overpowered class thing I've ever seen. They had like I can't even remember all of the shit they had because it was so good. Second Wind, like they just couldn't die. Like there's a clip of Redful back in Mop where his healer just stops healing him, and he just keeps playing because Second Wind is just ridiculous. Dude, that shit was fucking retarded. So comparing Legion to that, it's no comparison. They brought Demon Hunters back down to normalcy fairly quickly. They were pretty good for a while, but I mean even Demon Hunters weren't as crazy as Mob Warriors were. So I'm pretty happy with how quickly they have done balancing changes. There are a few huge issues I see with the game right now. There are some serious hard counters that I haven't seen in World of Warcraft really ever before. The closest thing I can think of is like the whole warrior frost mage dynamic, and that really never has ever applied in arenas before, where frost mages kind of just shit on warriors from like vanilla through. I guess it's probably still relevant now, but that's always been like an example of a class hard countering another class, and even that didn't apply to arenas, right? But it's gotten a little ridiculous. So Mistweaver monks in particular are ridiculous against certain classes. It's really pretty unfair. Like for example, I play Feral Shadow Priest. Like I think I was playing Feral Shadow Priest Holy Paladin, right? And if we face the Mistweaver, it's like a free fucking win for the Mistweaver team, right? Because we use magic debuffs, and they have a talent that makes one of their main heals heal for 150% more just because we use magic debuffs. And that used to be 200, but it used to be even worse. They nerfed it, and it's still ridiculous. And these talents, I think, are pretty toxic for the game. When we face Mistweavers, it's not uncommon for them to do 2 to 3 times as much healing as our healer does. And if you're playing like an Affliction Warlock against a Mistweaver, like you're fucked, really, because they just run that talent. And what are you gonna do? Not use magic debuffs? Like that kind of stuff is really stupid. Another example, with apparently Ret Paladins, I don't know the specific mechanics of Ret Paladins, but apparently Ret Paladins just completely negate Assassin Rogues out of the game. And there's a lot of examples of this where the game is really rock, paper, scissors right now with a lot of specs, and I think it's pretty bad. The worst one that I ran into yesterday has got to be assassination rogues. Assassination rogues are fucking stupid, and it's only one thing that I have a problem with, and it is system shock. Dude, that shit needs to get nerfed or I will not play the game. That is the most broken single ability I think I've ever seen in WoW. And I've been around for a while. I know 5 stacks of Taste of Blood, but that was crazy, right? But that was like a somewhat rare kind of thing. But this for PvP is probably the most broken thing I've ever seen. If you're not familiar with what System Shock is, basically, assassination rogues, if they spec into this talent, can have 100% uptime on a 90% daze. It's a 90% snare, but the devil is in the details here. This is a daze, not dispellable, not shrinkable. You can't shrink it out of this fucking thing. It's a fucking daze. And you can't, freedom doesn't work against it because it's a daze. It's not a magic effect. It's not a physical thing like hamstring. It's its own little special thing that you can't get out of. So when an assassination, you'll know it when you see it, because you'll be like, what is going on? Like the first time I got hit by it, I legitimately thought I accidentally hit my RP walk key or something. Like it is 90% movement reduction with 100% uptime. And assassination rogues do good damage too. This is not like their only thing they bring to the table. And this is dumb. This is a dumb thing to have in the game. And it really fucks up a feral druid, man. It makes me feel worthless because my whole class is designed around running around and dotting everything up. My single target damage in PvP is shit. My whole spec revolves around literally being mobile, flying around the map, and dotting stuff up. And when I have a 90% daze on me that I can't trinket, that I can't be freedomed out of, that I can't shapeshift out of, that has 100% uptime, you can't do anything. It's over. It's fucking over before it even started. And I can't lie. Like, we faced a rank 1 rogue mage Mistweaver, which is like, it's over. It's fucking so over before it started. First of all, it's a Mistweaver healer. Second of all, it's an assassination rogue. So there's no way in hell I can barely hit Mistweaver rogues Mistweaver monks to begin with, much less with a 90% snare. I can't stop the polys from the mage because I can't fucking reach the mage because I'm crawling at 90% reduction. I can't line of sight the mage because I'm crawling at 90% reduction. And the rogue just laughs at me because he dodges a lot of my shit to begin with, because rogues have like tons of stuff that gives them evasion style things, and my single target damage is pathetic to begin with. So this kind of stuff is bad for the game. And then to take the defense of assassination rogues, if you're an assassination rogue and you just queue into rep paladins, you get negated too. So I think that this is the most hard counter I've ever seen the game be when it comes to specific classes. I thought hunters were bad for ferals, right? Hunters have always been tough for ferals throughout the history of WoW, with things like Frost Aura Trap, and they've always been annoying. They've had things like Scare Beast and just real fucking AIDS abilities when it came to feral druids. And in the most current iteration of the game, they can run around really fast. It's hard to multi-dot them because they're really far away, and they've got concussive shot, which is another example of a daze. I think it's like 60%, but it only lasts 6 seconds. Like, so if they want to constantly keep concussive shot on you, they've got to maintain that. They've got to use the globals to do it. It's annoying. It's so annoying when I face a hunter that does that. But it's not insanely broken like System Shock is, where it's just a passive thing that has 100% uptime. It's 90% snare. That they're not even like, that's not like an active thing they do. It's just like you spec into it and they're fucked, right? So, I think Hunter is an example of a good counter. In my opinion, I think Marksman and Survival Hunters are a bit of a soft counter for ferals, but I think that's healthy. I think that's within the healthy limit of, like, yeah, some classes are going to be better against other classes, but you know, seeing like red pallies completely negate whatever, and seeing assassination rogues just completely ruin people's lives, it's got to get nerfed. I will be shocked if it doesn't get nerfed, but they got to nerf it quick because it's taking the fun out of the game. I think when more rogues realize that that thing exists, it's gonna be real bad. So enough bitching about assassination rogues. I had a few things I want to talk about. Let's see here. Windwalkers. What do I think about the Windwalker nerfs in 7.1? I think that's way too heavy-handed. Maybe it's the comps I play, but I don't particularly think Windwalkers are that threatening. They can be scary. They can do like crazy burst, but I don't think they're that scary right now to begin with. Their stuff is very telegraphed. Like when they pop Serenity, it's like you know it's coming. When they pop Tetra Death, you know it's coming. So I think if they remove that stun off Fist of Fury, which I don't think is that crazy to begin with. Like I don't ever face a monk and I'm not like, oh, Fist of Fury again. I mean, I get that it's powerful and they can do like a 360 and, you know, stun everybody, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. I would be shocked if they... Well, I wouldn't be shocked if they took it out, but that would be a bad move if they took it out. I don't think it's that crazy. I think Windwalkers are one of the classes I think is actually in a pretty good spot. I think that's the thing. So I don't think there's that many OP classes right now. I think the game, from a class perspective, is pretty good. There's just a few things that I think are silly. I think it's bad for people to have talents like Counteract Magic. I think that's just a toxic talent that just does not need to exist in the game. System Shock is just blatantly fucking OP. Counteract Magic is not like crazy OP. It's just crazy OP in certain situations. Like if they, I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah, I think it's just very certain things that are that bad. So that's why I think Legion overall is good, because there's not like wild, ridiculous imbalances. Like I think Feral's pretty good, but it's just annoying. There's Mistweavers and, you know, rogues, right? And hunters to a lesser extent, but hunters are not. I think hunters are fine. Where was I going with this? So Feral's Cyclone. So people keep spreading this rumor that Ferals are getting Cyclone back. And I think somebody got trolled on the forums. Somebody made an image of Ferals getting Cyclone on the PTR, right? So there was an image on the forums where it had it was in the same row of PvP talents as Protector of the Grove. So it was Protector of the Grove, Shape Mender, and they took out Leader of the Pack, the Shred Heal talent, and Cyclone was there. I think somebody just faked that. I think somebody just went in MS Paint and just like dragged Cyclone from the balance tree and just put it over there just to screw with some people. Because somebody posted that on the forums and people lost their mind. Oh my god, Ferals are getting Cyclone back. Oh my god, Ferals are getting Cyclone back. I saw that and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So I went and downloaded the PTR, downloaded the whole fucking thing, logged in. Ferals didn't have Cyclone. There's no fucking way that's happening, guys. There's no way. They would have to retune Feral completely if they got... If I had the damage I have now with Cyclone, dude, it's over. That's like the best... Feral's the best class in the game, like, by a lot. So, that's not happening. I really don't think that's happening. I would be really shocked if that happens this expansion. I think they're probably just going to stick with Ferals the way they are, which is fine with me. If Feral's got Cyclone back, I don't want it to be spammable, because I really don't like the way it devolves. Like the game will devolve into Feral's spamming Cyclone a lot, because, well, especially now, because CC is not as rampant as it was in previous expansions. It's going to make Feral's stalling with Cyclone even more powerful, so it's going to be even worse than it was in WoD, because the thing that happened in WoD was people would spam Cyclone and stall for cooldowns, and I felt like I was playing Cyclone Simulator 2016 rather than playing a Feral Druid in 3v3 arenas, because you just, oh shit, we're in a little bit of trouble and we don't have cooldowns, Cyclone this, Cyclone this, Cyclone this, Cyclone that, Cyclone that, Cyclone that, Cyclone that, and you just rotate Cyclones on the DRs. And you'd be doing fucking quarter clones, but it would still be worth it, right? So I would like to see it have a cooldown, even a small cooldown of like, I don't know, 10 seconds, right? You can Cyclone once every successful cast of Cyclone puts it on cooldown for 10 seconds. To where it's still something you can use frequently, or even have it be charges, right? You have 2 charges of Cyclone, and each charge takes 10 seconds to recharge, right? So you can do a double Cyclone, but you can't spam it, because if Feral's got Cyclone back, that's what it would turn into. I'm almost 100% sure that's what it would turn into. So anyway, I'm enjoying WoW Arena for the most part. Might take a little bit of a break with Assassination Rogues the way they are, because I think they're just going to get only more and more rampant in popularity as people figure out that System Shock is just god tier. So we'll see. Going to be checking out a game called Battle Right, as well as, you know, CROWFALL. That's going to be starting to ramp up here pretty soon. But I still like the game for the most part, but there's a few things I don't like. So let me know what you guys think of the season overall. Overall, I really like Feral Druids. I really like the way they play. I like the spread pressure. I just don't like it when I face Assassination Rogues and they completely take me out of the game. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.